There you are, out on the water. Yeah, you're either gonna love or hate that song by the end of this film. SpongeGex here, and today I'm gonna review a very obscure anime film from 2019 called Ride Your Wave, directed by Masaki Yuasa and produced by Science Saru, the same company that brought us Scott Pilgrim Takes Off on Netflix. So I found Ride Your Wave in my recommendations on HBO Max, and I decided to go into this movie blind. This movie is definitely an emotional roller coaster, and overall I did enjoy the film, but there were a few things that did bother me about this movie. While the movie is very colorful and overall pretty to look at, I was not a fan of the character designs. Many of them look so tall, lanky, scrawny, and they just have such big blank stares across the film. There's so many times where characters are supposed to be talking to each other, but their lack of direct eye contact, it really got distracting. It's like instead of looking into each other's eyes, it looked more like they were looking at each other's like necks or stomachs. It's like, God, look into each other's eyes for crying out loud. And the movie is overall gorgeous, but there are some scenes where the animation really took some shortcuts. Some scenes really do look bad, especially the paddling splash effect during the climax of the movie. So I've probably seen this movie about 6 times by now, and while the characters are overall pretty memorable, I can still never remember their names. Meanwhile, yesterday, for the first time, I watched a few episodes of the anime series Gurren Lagann, and I can already remember the names of the main characters after just hearing their names 2 or 3 times. So, the movie stars a surfing girl named Hinako. She's fresh out of high school and decides to move back to her ocean hometown and ride some waves again. A fireman named Minato spots Hinako surfing, and he tells his best friend Wasabi that she's back, and he mentions how she is his hero. We find out more about this later. But so right away, Hinako is such a relatable character, and she brings back memories to how rough it was for me when I first moved out. Everything from being clumsy with cooking your own meals, to stacking your moving boxes and scrambling to make sure that none of them fall over. It's just too painfully relatable.
Talk soon. Seriously?
So one night, some troublemakers set off illegal fireworks and they end up burning down Hinako's apartment. Fireman Minato rescues her, and the two become friends over time, as Hinako offers to teach Minato how to surf. So we slowly see the two spend time together, as Hinako teaches Minato how to surf, while he teaches her how to cook and brew coffee. While listening to the radio in Minato's car, their favorite song starts playing, called Brand New Story. So by the end of this movie, you're either going to love it or hate it, because this song plays a huge part in the story. There's even a whole montage of the couple singing this song, and they're admittedly not the best singers, but you really get the sense of how much these two love each other, as they're constantly laughing while singing it. It's just like an actual couple would when they hear their favorite song on the radio. And it's just kind of odd for the English dub, though, because the song is still in Japanese, yet the characters are singing it in English lyrics. I get why they had to do it. I mean, it would have been a little too troublesome to re-record this song, but it's just so strange to see characters sing along with a song despite how it's in a completely different language, and they're not singing it in the language they're hearing it from. I mean, even the movie Suzume did this right. There's a part where a character's listening to a few songs in Japanese on the radio, and despite how you're watching an English dub, he sings the songs in Japanese. Anyways, Minato introduces Hinako to his little sister Yoko, and she comes across as very rude and disgusted by how lovey-dovey her brother and his new girlfriend are. They fire back to her rudeness by comparing her to a deadly blue-ringed octopus, and
I really wish I was a blue-ringed octopus, because then I could bite you!
What?
Yoko became one of my favorite side characters in this movie. She starts off as such a rude jerk, but over the course of the movie, she really softens up, and she becomes aware that she is mean, and she's trying so hard to be nicer, so she's no longer pushing people away, and she even falls in love with Minato's best friend Wasabi, and he helps bring out the best in her. And so yeah, she got a lot of great growth, but she was a fun character throughout. And so on Christmas Day, Hinako and Minato spend the day in the city together. Hinako is drawn to a building that's giving out romantic Christmas shoutouts submitted by requesters in advance. So Minato offers to take her inside as they sign their names on these Christmas hearts meant for couples, as they declare their love for each other and they post it across the wall. So they head down to the ocean, and Minato requests Hinako to move in with him. She is flattered by the offer, but she declines, feeling like he's been doing everything for her, and she feels like there's still a lot that she needs to learn to do on her own. As she puts it, she needs to learn how to ride her own wave. Minato makes a wish and shares it with Minato that he'll always be there for her if she needs him. Hinako mentions how the waves are always the best on the day after Christmas, as she tells him that she plans on surfing the next day. So, the first 30 minutes of this film is a very wholesome love story, but the rest of the movie takes a dark turn. So, the day after Christmas, Minato decides to go surfing without Hinako in hopes of getting better. He hopes to impress her with how much better he's gotten at surfing, but he notices a jet skier wiping out, and he paddles over to try saving the skier. So we cut to Hinako as she finally receives Minato's text about heading out surfing on his own, and she decides to ride her bike over, meet up with him, and catch some waves with him. But as she arrives to the beach, her vision becomes blurry as she notices a bunch of ambulances, along with Minato's broken surfboard. Hinako becomes a wreck after Minato's death. She dropped out of college, stopped surfing, and moved to a building away from the ocean, because looking at it just reminds her of Minato. So she receives Minato's phone and tries accessing it in hopes of getting a clue on why he went surfing without her, but she can't crack his PIN code. Hinako starts noticing strange occurrences. Whenever she starts singing Brand New Story around a body of water, Minato appears in the water and starts talking with her. However, Hinako is the only one who can see and hear him. At first, you think she's lost her mind and is going crazy, but the movie leaves plenty of hints to the audience to let them know that she is not hallucinating this, especially during the climax. Minato and Hinako have no idea how this is possible, but Minato thinks it might have something to do with the wish he made on Christmas. So we see Hinako trying to resume her relationship with Minato. She carries around a water bottle so she can bring Minato with her. She even fills up an inflatable finless porpoise with water, and she drags it around town as people stare with concern about her mental health. So Minato requests Hinako to try surfing again. She agrees to do it, but she gets triggered by PTSD and bails out. Over the course of the film, Minato starts realizing how badly things are getting for Hinako. He points out how they just can't hold hands anymore, and maybe she's better off moving on and finding someone else.
But the reality is, I can't hold your hand. I can't hold you or kiss you.
You said you'd be there for me, didn't you? That's all I want!
Shh, calm down. People will hear you and you're talking to a toilet.
She refuses to let him go. During a fire, Hinako desperately sings out for Minato to help put out the fire. He comes bursting out of the water beneath a bridge to extinguish the flames, but this nearly causes Minato to evaporate. Hinako starts freaking out that Minato is disappearing.
You need to get a hold of yourself. I don't want to be harsh, but Minato is gone. He's not a ghost.
You might not be able to see him, Wasabi, but I can!
But I'm also sure that he would have never, ever wanted to see you like this right now, Hinako. Minato used to say, Hinako inspires me and is my hero. But now?
One day, Yoko invites Hinako to look through Minato's room as she looks back on Minato's life and shares memories about how great of a guy he was. She then brings up a memory on how Minato, when he was younger, he went swimming into the ocean and nearly drowned, until a little girl on a surfboard saved him. Yoko shows Hinako a picture from that day, as Hinako's eyes widen at the sight of young Minato. The girl who saved young Minato was in fact a younger Hinako. As we cut to a flashback, we see how Hinako paddles Minato back to shore, and he receives CPR from a lifeguard. As Minato awakens, he hears the song Brand New Story playing on the beach radio, as the lifeguard points to young Hinako and says, "This brave young girl saved your life." Hinako then pulls out Minato's phone and types in the date from when she saved his life, and the password is approved, and she finally gains access to his phone. She reads through a journal message that he wrote about her on the morning of his passing. She is emotionally inspired by realizing that Minato was the boy that she saved years ago, and she decides to pursue a job as a lifeguard. While working at her cafe job, Yoko overhears the same hooligans responsible for setting off fireworks and burning Hinako's apartment. She informs Hinako, and they decide that they're going to spy on them, record footage of them setting off the illegal fireworks, and turn them into the police. As Yoko and Hinako follow the criminals to the top of the roof, they catch footage of them setting off the fireworks, but things get bad as the building they're on catches fire. One of the fireworks ricocheted into Yoko's leg and it injures her, and she can't move to escape, so Hinako realizes that calling on Minato to save them could make him disappear forever, but she has no choice and she calls him out. He comes bursting out of a fire hose and creates a giant wall of water. Minato uses his water powers to safely escort his fellow firemen out of the building. This time Wasabi and Yoko can finally see and hear him.
How's my little blue-ringed octopus? Say hi to Mom and Dad for me.
Minato creates a giant wave to extinguish the flames as he guides Hinako to surf on the wave and safely get his sister out of there. As Hinako and Yoko make it out of the building, Minato evaporates into the sky. Time skips to Christmas, where Hinako, Yoko, and Wasabi are walking through town, and they come across the building where Hinako and Minato signed their names on those paper hearts the previous year. Hinako encourages Yoko and Wasabi to go inside and get their names signed. So Hinako approaches a water fountain and starts singing Brand New Story, but she's disappointed that Minato doesn't show up. She tears up as she hears an announcer from the building sharing a love declaration that was sent out last year. It was from Minato to Hinako. The film ends showing other surfers leaving the water as Hinako approaches a huge wave and she ends up riding it, finally being able to ride her own wave. So this is overall a beautiful and tragic movie. It delves a lot into themings of loss, grieving, and learning to get past it and move forward. This movie does get some mixed reception. I've seen some people who really appreciate the message and themes of this movie, while others were just too disturbed by how dark and unsettling it was, especially with its heavy symbolism of mental decline after witnessing a tragedy. So it may not be the happiest movie on earth, but I found it to be very enjoyable and emotional. For those in North America, this movie is still available on HBO Max, and I give Ride Your Wave a 7 out of 10. That's all I have to show for now. Thank you for watching, see you next time, and have a great day.